So I've really enjoyed getting to hear the variety, and it just speaks to the way the ecosystem has to work, that there's going to be a lot of different players, and we need to learn from each other and build on our successes, and I think everyone's better for it.
The only event that gets incumbents and startups talking together, because one of the biggest issues that Jonathan and I face all the time is the inability for one to understand the other.
Something like this shows you the art of the possible. It shows you what other people are thinking about. And even if you're an incumbent insurance company, what else are entrepreneurs thinking about? And I think that's a real privilege for ourselves to mix and mingle and listen to what entrepreneurs are thinking about, an external lens to our industry. And I think for InsurTech entrepreneurs, understanding the realities and the constraints of big insurance companies is really important, because you're much more likely then to be able to come to an agreement and mutually partner.
We were just, I mentioned earlier, MSA really has a great, I think, gift of identifying topical and relevant issues and bringing the right people together to speak about it. And this conference is no exception. I mean, I think it's very timely, it's very relevant. I don't know how many people you have here, but it's a lot. And so if you're not here and you're thinking about it, you should come, because this is where you're going to get thought leadership, you're going to get insights from the businesses, and you're going to get inspired by those around you. So if you're not here, I think you should be here.
Huge variety of attendees. So we've got not just P&C providers, but life co, individual and group. We've got VC people. We've got other consultants and advisors to the industry here. And I think the networking as a result of that is fantastic. And I think as we looked around today after the Wolfpack, we saw some real-time deals going down, which is fantastic to see.
This conference in particular created one of our first partnerships, actually, and then coming back to showcase the growth and then to be able to tell our story and actually win the awards showcases, like you said, that we're growing up together.
Organizations that are looking to partner and to better develop their InsurTech offerings, I think it's a great conference to be a part of.
This is a conference I would put on a calendar because it does fulfill the first golden rule of innovation: design for the end user first.
I like to say that you've bamboozled the audience with different ways. They have workshops, they have great content and speakers, and they get the Wolfpack pitching contest. So they get a little spice and variety through it. And that's important when you're here for a full day, to keep it lively, keep it entertaining.
I think it's a wonderful event, and thank you for taking the lead and organizing and bringing all these parties together that really don't have a great vehicle to meet. It's such an emerging area, and so it's a great opportunity for myself and for our company to engage in conversations with not just potential partners and opportunities, but also your competitors, to learn a little bit about how they're doing. I think that's the wonderful thing about innovation. Even if you are competitors, there's sort of the shared purpose of getting better together, and then almost a shared utility from which we can then develop proprietary solutions. So we all learn from each other here, and venues such as this is really the key to bringing that together. So thank you very much for organizing it.
Companies that focused on creating a platform for distribution. There were companies that largely focused around fraud. There are companies that focus around specialized skills around underwriting, for example. So if you were to take each one of those and piece them together in our own value chain, would we be a better value chain is the question, right? So for us to be able to get an appreciation for all of that type of stuff in a conference such as InsurTech is fascinating and fabulous in 2 days.
These kinds of events really create those collisions, those interactions that are necessary so that people move forward with the best of the ideas in this group and are building programs and initiatives and driving growth in a way that is sustainable and prevents any false starts. So these events are critical to the ecosystem for us to move forward.
Everyone is open to having a discussion, or if you go to some of the larger ones in the US, for example, it's very difficult to have an open discussion, and it's kind of, no one really wants to show their cards, where it's a little bit more Canadian here, so it was a good event, definitely.
First of all, thanks for having me here. InsurTech North is just such a great forum and exchange of information. You've got such a great agenda and people here. It's just exciting.